knuckle bosses a minute ago. So as you go through the bare knuckle arenas, the bosses in each of the arenas, they're not the same. They all have different names and different jobs and different backstories, but they have the same set of abilities, each of the bosses, so that we could guarantee that there's like a climactic, boss fight at the end of each of those arenas, so that you can win it with a good fight. But you can still recruit those bosses. But again, they have different names, different character models. Like they look different, sound different, different family, different backstory. So even if you have the same abilities on a character, it'll be unique in your game from someone else's.
Here we see Yusuf has recruited an ace driver.
Great driving, yeah.
I gotta say, Clint, even in a video game, it feels so weird to drive on the left side of the road.
Yeah, it is.
That took me so long.
I mean, I've been playing this game for 5 years, and I still get in head-on collisions because I'm driving on the wrong side of it.
The question is, though, does it backwash into your normal life? Like, when you get into the car and pull out onto the road, do you have to, tell your brain, right side of the road?
Little-known fact about me is that I don't even have a driver's license. Never had a driver's license. I'm a weird anomaly.
He doesn't drive.
No, I don't drive, except in video games, where I drive exclusively on the wrong side of the road.
Well, good thing this man is not licensed, folks.
I'm kind of jealous, honestly.
Iron Legion asking, can we visit the Big Ben? We got you covered. We'll have some Big Ben a little bit later in the thing. Yeah, wrong side, guys, Kiter. You are definitely right. And again, folks, if you're you'll see some little wipes as we change scenes occasionally. That's just because we're doing a footage review here. This is gameplay we previously captured on a PC through a remote play session, and so we're just going through now and kind of checking out some highlights and talking with Clint Hawking, creative director of Watch Dogs Legion. Yeah, I definitely found that driving. I really like getting into a Watch Dogs game and driving from place to place, just because it starts to piece together my idea of what the city is like. Yeah. What landmarks am I gonna come up on, and also how do I navigate the big roundabouts, which can be a little tricky when you're just zooming along at high speeds.
You're
saying you bringing any Watch Dogs 2 characters back, like Wrench, and so in the news that got announced today in the post-launch article, which I will drop again in chat, Wrench will be part of the season pass. So along with Aiden Pierce and 2 other brand new operatives.
Burrow, and you get an actual, you get kind of a special, a bit more skilled kind of agent for unlocking those burrows. We're switching over to a Yusuf storyline now, but that woman that I unlocked, as I recall, had she was a spy. She had a spy watch that would jam enemy guns, and she had a car that shot missiles?
That's right, and her car can cloak as well.
Yes.
Yeah, the spy car is pretty awesome.
I remember, basically, it was close to the end of the session that I did that, so basically all I had the time to do was, get the spy car. I found this big, sort of plaza in front of it.
Each of the boroughs that you liberate, in addition to the removing the Albion presence, making the people like you more, it also gives you a new member to your team. So there's lots of different ways to recruit. You can obviously just pick anyone off the street and recruit them. You can recruit people just by rescuing if they're being beaten up by Albion and they already like you. If you just go and save them, they might just join your team on the spot. But also liberating a borough will give you a cool character on your team as well.
And you can see that as you're scanning through the map. So if you folks want to check the replay, as we were scanning across the map earlier, one of the boroughs the reward was to unlock a beekeeper.
That's
and
right.
The beekeeper is not just someone who wears a big suit and hangs out on the rooftop with licking honey and whatnot. They've got a little more kick to them.
A little more punch to them, that's for sure. Yes. The beekeepers are actually Titus engineers. So in part of our world fiction, with climate change and things going on, colony collapse disorder spreading around the world, the bees have gone extinct. So Titus, in their infinite grace and generosity,
of course,
have decided to manufacture robotic bees, and they're conducting tests inside London with their robotic bees as a replacement for the bees that no longer exist. And so if you recruit a beekeeper, you can actually shoot robot bees at people, which is pretty awesome.
Shoot robot bees. Oh, man. Love it.
Yeah, I'm 100% playing with the beekeeper. That's
the beekeeper's great.
Naim Boom, I believe, was asking Clint, is it possible to go in guns blazing?
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, like one of the pillars of the game design, just like in previous Watch Dogs games, is we want you to be able to play the game the way you want to play. If you want to, recruit melee characters and go with a shock fist and clobber people with your fists, you can do that. If you want to,
Gotta look good for what's at hand. All right, so in terms of this mission, Yusuf, that we're on right now, can you give us a little context for? You remember where we were in this situation?
Yeah. So this is after my bare knuckle boxer went down, and now that he's still in the hospital after I won the whole tournament, and so I wanted to do him a favor. He got me partially of the way there, So I thought, well, why not recruit a paramedic? Because recruiting a paramedic would actually shorten, or in this case, just immediately get him out of the hospital. And so Christine Roebuck is that paramedic.
All right.
So we have to go meet up with her here. They see me drive an ambulance and maybe run over someone, so... So yeah, we have to go steal an organ transplant vehicle from a Clan Kelly hideout.
Right. So Clan Kelly's actually operating an illegal organ transplant business. This is they're capturing people and harvesting their organs.
That's not great. Seems
pretty crazy.
Speaking of morbid things, Pledge Dust asking, will resist or surrender feature be in the permadeath mode when you're critically injured? So I guess some curiosity about the permadeath mode, what that means for your agents, and for when you get into a bad situation in combat, what are your options?
So a few different things. One, permadeath is now it's a mode. We found that a lot of players really love playing in permadeath, but a lot of players just really didn't want to have that hanging over them, and it was pretty evenly split. So in order to kind of give everybody the option that they wanted, we decided to make it a mode, but it's orthogonal to difficulty. So you can play in easy difficulty with permadeath on or off. You can play in hard difficulty with permadeath on or off. It's not like hard is permadeath. It's you choose both, right? And then on top of that, the resist or surrender. That's a feature we simplified out. It was too complicated and wasn't adding a lot to the experience, so we took it out after sometime over the last year when we were making major improvements to the game. Mm-hmm. So now you just you should have. We feel there's strong enough feedback when you're getting beaten up with the hit responses, and you can see in some of the combat, you can see the direction of the hit indicators. If you get hit too much, the screen will go gray. It's telling you when it's time for you to back out and retreat.
Sorry, Clint. Yusuf just completely flattened a pedestrian.
Yeah, I saw him. Yep. There's an ambulance on the way to pick up the guy that the ambulance just ran over. Way to go, Yusuf.
I'm just keeping the ambulance business employed, all right?
Like, how many organs do you have in the back of the ambulance versus how many organs did you just squash by running over a person?
Yeah, that's a fair trade-off. It's funny to me watching this back now that I tried to get into the vehicle from the left-hand side and then remembered, oh wait, we're in London. All right, let me run around to the other side.
That all the time. I get in and then the guy has to slide over. I run around the far side of the vehicle and then my guy has to slide back over.
Which, I mean, honestly, it just really gives me an insight into what UK gamers have been dealing with their entire lives.
Oh god, I didn't even think about the fact that it's the other way for all of them.
It's true. Planet Express is asking about the entire map kind of availability, like right from the beginning. Are you going to be able to range all over London? Is there kind of an intro?
So there's a prologue section which takes place, several months before the game starts, but it's only 15-20 minutes long, where you play Dalton Wolf and you learn about Zero Day and the threats to London, and then after that sort of 20-minute sort of intro and onboarding, then as soon as you appear in modern London, you're free to go everywhere in the game world. Yeah.
Excellent. And get yourself